Welcome to Honestly Heidi, deep conversations about disability, identity, and life. Here, I'm going to keep it honest, helpful, and human as I share how I handle life's hurdles. Hey guys, what is up? It's Heidi. Welcome back to my channel, and more importantly, welcome to episode 3 of Honestly Heidi. If anybody went to school with me, like middle school, high school, or even elementary school, you might recognize this sweatshirt. I thought it was on theme with today's video. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about inclusion and how important it is to be included. And you might be like, what does that have to do with your sweatshirt? Growing up with a disability and being in school, I did not always feel included with everybody else. I did not always feel like I fit in, and it was definitely harder to make friends. So, speaking of which, when I graduated high school, when everybody's getting ready to go off to college, they say that college is going to be the best years of your life. Like, you hear it everywhere, like all the parties, the late nights, the friendships that you make, and just like having such good memories that you can tell for like years to come after. But for me, college was not really like that. I did not really have that experience, and honestly, going into college, I knew that was how my college experience was going to be. And I do want to say that that's not really anyone else's fault except for mine. Well, I don't want to say it's my fault either, just because I chose not to go to like a big college. I chose just to go to a community college because I had trouble in school, and with my disability and all that, I just thought like I don't think I can handle like going off to a big college and like living there. So, I didn't do that. But again, I don't want to like say that it's like necessarily my fault either, because again, because of my disability, I just was not ready for that college life yet. With everything in life, really, I'm always like a few steps behind everyone. Like I always am, I'm just never really ready to do things when other people are ready. For example, the whole college thing, getting a job, getting my license, like I'm always a few years behind everybody, I feel like, in that way. And a lot of that is because of my disability, I think. Also just because of anxiety, I think, too. Since I went to a community college, I also just did school online. And also, speaking of like, not always feeling included, I also did not grow up with like a ton of friends. I really did try in school, especially like my senior year. I really tried to make friends. I was like, when am I ever going to have the chance to make friends? Wait, that sounds so sad. This video is not sad, you'll see. Yeah, I just didn't really have that many friends. So, when I went off to college, I was seeing all like my peers around me going out and having so much fun and just living the best college life. And I was so jealous of it. I was like, oh, I wish I could do that. I just wish I could. But again, I felt like I couldn't at the time. And since I didn't have that many friends, or not only that many friends, but also friends like my age that were in college, I also didn't have the opportunity to go to college parties with like other people either. So not only did I feel like I was kind of on the sidelines and watching everybody else in high school, but I also felt like that throughout college. But it's kind of ironic because I graduated college like last year, so I just got my associates. It's kind of ironic because now that I graduated college and am out of college, I feel like I've lived more of a college life this year than I have when I was actually in college. So I'm going to be telling you guys today about how a frat party, not only a frat party, but my first ever frat party, literally changed my life. Inclusion does not just mean accessibility. Inclusion also means feeling like you belong and being included in environments where everyone else belongs. I can't just tell people like inclusion means this, and this is a checklist that you have to meet in order to make people feel included. Inclusion is so much more than that. It's about like culture and make you feel like you belong. I don't know, that's how I would explain it, but anyways, and that is exactly how I felt that night. So I'm going to take it back a little bit and I'm going to tell you exactly about that whole day. So basically, one of my best friends, she's probably watching this video, she's been in a lot of my videos, but I literally love her so much. If you're watching this, hey girl. I was always planning on going up to her college and visiting her because we just always talked about it. She has her own place there now, so it's like a lot easier to go visit her. I remember I went to go visit her and we had an entire just day, and I felt like I really got to experience like that college life and that college experience, and it was honestly one of the best days of my entire life. And again, that probably sounds like so weird to other people, but when you do grow up with a disability and you feel so excluded from a lot of things, it makes moments like this so much better. So anyways, there was a tailgate party at her college, so we started off the day at the tailgate, and we were just like walking around enjoying ourselves, like partying. We did not just go to one frat party this day, we went to multiple. We went to one big frat party outside like during the day. It's called a darty. This is how little of the college experience in culture I was aware of, because I didn't even know that there was a name for it. They're called darties. I sound like a grandma, but like I didn't know. I wasn't exposed to that. Yeah, we just had the best day, and I just remember I was walking around and looking at everyone, and I just didn't really feel that feeling of like, oh, everyone's staring at me, or oh, everybody's gonna like think I'm different, or everybody is noticing my disability. Like, it was such a huge like event, and that no one cares. Like, I just realized like no one cares. They're all like there to have a good time. No one is really looking at you, and if they are, I don't think they really care. Like, I don't think they're looking at me and are like making fun of me. I think everyone was there just literally minding their own business and having a good time. And you know, everyone was drinking, so I doubt they were even paying attention to me. But anyways, yeah, so that was like the best day ever, but that is not the frat party I'm talking about. We did go to a frat party that day, but so we went back to her house and we were getting ready. And again, even just the getting ready process, it's something that I think a lot of people take for granted. Like I said, like, you might not understand how this day was so important to me and how this was like one of the best days of my life. And I think that's because a lot of times, you know, if you don't have a disability, or you don't have, you know, this feeling of being excluded for the way that you were born, or the way that you look, or the way that you are, then it's kind of hard to understand this. I remember I always had like this dream of to go just to have a girls' day and get ready to go out with the girls, do your makeup, do your hair all together. And again, I never really experienced that, and that night I did. Me and my friends, we spent the night like getting ready. My friend curled my hair for me, like we did our makeup together, and it was just so fun. Then we went out, we went to the first ever frat party. So actually, real quick, we went to like 3 different frat parties, I think. It was so fun. It was like, it felt like I was in a movie for one night, and it was just awesome. Also, real quick, I want to shout out the 2 friends I went with. Again, they're probably watching this, but the way that they really pulled this night together for me. They literally held my hand to help me up the stairs and to help me down the stairs. And, you know, they also like stuck up for me. If anybody said anything about my disability, they were there, and they were the first ones to like say something and be there for me. And I will forever be grateful for them for that. The frat parties were so fun. I just remember it was like so many people. I have never been to that big of a party before. Again, I was just looking at everybody, and no one cares. Like, no one cares that I had a disability. No one really noticed. And we were just all having a good time, like dancing, you know, partying. It was so awesome. And just being there with my friends, I just felt like so included. And for a little bit, I felt like, oh, this is what college was supposed to be like. And I was like, this is awesome. Yeah, and then I'm going to talk about one of the last frat parties we went to of the night. I don't think we got home until like 2 a.m., but we were at this last frat party, and there was a group of people. We talked to a few people that night, and none of them like really cared about my disability. I will say there was a few people who did say something to me about it, but again, my friends were there, they had my back, and no one was like really mean about it. They were just more curious, which is totally fine with me. I don't really care. I'd rather someone be curious than be rude. And I think if people are curious and ask questions, it's actually better, because you can educate them, and that like education leads to less ignorance. So that's why I never mind if people ask me questions about it. But anyway, so we talked to a lot of people, and it was just like, I cannot stress this enough. It was just a feeling of like being included and getting to experience that college life that I never got to experience. And I remember the last frat party we went to, I was like, man, like, how come, like, I was kind of sad, because I was like, all right, my friends are being hit on right now, and I'm not being hit on at all. Like, obviously it's because of my disability. Like, hello. Literally, I think a half hour before we left this frat party, this guy actually did end up coming up to me, and we were just talking, and that also, like, I don't know who that was. He doesn't know who I am. We don't talk. He ended up actually blocking me because I do have a disability, but we're not going to talk about that. If you're watching this, what the freak, dude. But yeah, so we don't know each other. And he definitely does not know I have a YouTube channel, and he's definitely not watching this. But I will say that alone kind of also changed my life in a way, because I had never, like, when I go out places, no guy has ever come up to me. No guy has ever expressed interest in me, like, in real life. You know, because of my disability, I feel like it kind of, I don't know. I just don't think I'm someone that a lot of guys look at and like want to go up to. I don't know. Or maybe it's intimidating too, because I do have a disability. I'm not really sure. This guy did come up to me, and we were just like talking for the rest of the night that we were there. And that even made me feel so included too, because it was the first time where I was like, oh, I am approachable, and I'm not like this ugly, disgusting thing that nobody wants to talk to, which that sounds so awful to say about myself, but like that's kind of how I felt, because when you're excluded for so long, that's kind of the mindset it gives you. Yeah, so that made me feel pretty good about myself. And also it taught me that, like, because I'm a very shy person, but that taught me, like, it's not that deep. Like, you don't have to be scared to talk to guys. Like, it went good. And actually, it was kind of funny because I don't know what made him tell me this, but he was like, he asked me, this is so bad. He asked me how much I drank that night, because, like, everyone's drinking. It's a frat party. And I was like, oh, like, not that much, really, because I didn't, like, it's a frat party, you have to bring your own drinks. I really, like, I didn't have room to bring, like, a whole bunch of drinks, obviously, so I really wasn't. Anyways, and I was like, oh, like, I barely even drank. And he was like, no way, then how are you this good at talking to me right now? I was like, I don't know, but that made me feel really good about myself, because I was like, oh, I'm not this terribly awkward person all the time. Like, I can be fun to talk to, I guess. Like I said, it didn't go anywhere. He literally blocked me after because I guess he didn't see I had a disability, which, if you couldn't tell in person, then I don't think it should matter, but whatever. I'm still glad for the experience. That was the first ever, like, time I was at a college, and I felt really included and felt like just a part of everyone else. I want to give some people advice out there who may have disabilities and haven't gone to college yet. I try not to be too hard on myself for not going away to college or experiencing that college life when I had the opportunity to, because like I said at the beginning, I just was not ready for that at the time. When you have a disability, there's so much more you have to think about, and I try not to regret that too much. But if I can give anybody advice out there, if you do feel ready and you feel like you can, I would definitely say to go for it and just go out to college, go have fun with your friends, because looking back, I'm like, ugh, I wish I had more of those nights. I wish I had more of those experiences. Yeah, I just wish I went out and did more, to be honest. If it's not too late for you, I would say definitely go to college, meet friends, focus on school too, but like, just live your life. So yeah, I kind of used, if you guys didn't notice in this video, I kind of used the hook to grab people's attention by saying like how a frat party changed my life, which is true, it did. It was like one of the best nights of my life. But the overall theme of this video was supposed to tell you guys the importance of inclusion. Inclusion is about making people feel included and like they're a part of life, and like they're a part of experiences and things that everybody else gets to be a part of. And like I said, my friends really did that for me that night. So if anybody out there is watching this and you know somebody, you have a friend or something with a disability, or you know someone who doesn't always get to go out, or whatever it might be, who might not always be included, ask them, hey, do you want to go out tonight? It doesn't even have to be to a college party. It doesn't have to be to anything like that. It can just be to hang out, to go get lunch or something. I don't know. It could be anything. Like, you truly don't understand how much that can really impact someone and make their day. And yeah, that's my biggest advice. Like, I just wish, like I said, I tried so hard in high school to make friends, and it just like never really worked. And I was always someone in school who would include other people. Like, if I saw someone alone, I would try to go up to them and talk to them, because I know what that feels like, and it's not good. You know, no one in life should ever be isolated from other people. No one in life should feel that way. So if you have the ability to try to make someone feel less alone and less isolated, definitely do that. You will make someone's day by doing that. And also, I think people are sometimes scared of doing that, because I think people think that people with disabilities don't want to go out, or they don't want to have fun, or they can't have fun, or I don't know what it is. Like, I don't think people would expect me to be the life of the party or have fun, but I feel like I am. Like, just because I'm shy and I always appear to be on the sidelines doesn't mean that's how I am. When I was actually included, you would see that I was having so much fun. I was, you know, dancing and talking to people, and it was awesome. Like, if anybody knows why people with disabilities get so excluded a lot of the time, let me know, because I really don't know why. Like, because the only thing that's different about me is my disability. Nothing else about me is different. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm still able to have fun like everyone else. I'm still able to do everything everyone else can, even if it means there's some things I need help with or whatever. I still am like everyone else. Like, I still want to experience things everyone else does. Okay, yeah. I think this is the longest rant I've been on for one of these Honestly Heidi episodes. I thought it was pretty important, and yeah. Let me know your thoughts and if anybody else has felt this way. And make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. And also, don't forget to comment video ideas or anything you might want to hear me talk about. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.